Really loud.
Good morning.
Anyway,
Thank you, FanDuel, for hosting us. This is pretty exciting to be in your offices. Show of hands, who watches at least 4 hours a week of live sports? 4 hours, y'all. Knicks were on. Okay, that's the average household in America. Let's say 10 hours a week. Show of hands.
Everyone's very hesitant. Get them up there.
Morning sports. We've had a great week. We have Knicks. Okay, that's a super fan. And I know we have a ton of marketers. So I'm super excited to kick us off. Introduce Sophie Kelly, as we heard, Senior Vice President over at Diageo on Tequila.
Yes, tequila everywhere, all around the world.
Love it. I'm Kristen Elliott. I am Head of Revenue at Kargo. And we're here. Our goal is to make sure we inspire all of you and why sports marketing makes an impact for your business. So I'll kick us off in regards to questions. Why is sports marketing so impactful?
Yeah, look, we're going to talk hopefully about some work that we've done at Diageo and why we're involved in sports so heavily. And one of the things I want to talk about is just the power of sports fans. Yeah. What do we do in marketing? It's all about trying to attract people to participate and to interact with our brands, to love our brands, and to choose them over other people. And the power of fandom around sport is an amazing, magical thing to tap into. When we started really getting into, I'm going to talk a lot about Johnnie Walker, right? Which is one of my favorite brands. I know I work on tequila now, but I used to run our whiskey portfolio, and we did a lot of work in women's sport. And it feels fitting to talk about that. Johnnie Walker is kind of a brand that for years stood for progress, right? It was the brand you reached for when you wanted to kind of pat yourself on the back, celebrate a big moment in life, very kind of special. The great part about that was that it had a lot of status. The bad part about that was that not enough people were drinking it, right? They were preferring bourbon. They didn't really know when to pull the scotch out. And it was a very niche audience of people for particular occasions. So when we thought about what we are as a brand representing this moment of progress, we said, it's really about time that we took progress to different audiences and we went out there and made some positive impact around that. So we turned to women's sport, right? And said, we can't be a brand about progress if we don't get in the game and turn our equity driving campaigns like First Strides to the sports area. So that's when we partnered with a beautiful team called Angel City Football Club, which for those of you who don't know them, they are female-owned, female-sponsored, female everything, right? They're a fantastic club. And we said, listen, we want to get involved in you because we want to drive equality in women's sport. And you stand for that in the loudest possible way. They said, that's awesome. So this is where it gets, I think, kind of interesting is, you know, lots of brands have got money and they can go and plaster their logos in stadiums. They can run their ads and they can do all that. But we said to Angel City Football Club, you know, what would be a thing that would become a ritual, a part of the game that would really ignite the players and also the fans around women's sport and, in fact, your team sport. And we said to ourselves, you know, there are heaps of male team anthems out there, right? They run on and they've got the Chelsea anthem and they're out there and they're chanting and they're saying it all, but there aren't that many women's anthems, right? So we said, how about we create the first women's soccer anthem? So we worked with our co-creators on the brand, Brittany Howard, teamed up with Tia P, an amazing rapper in LA, and we created the first ever anthem, Running with the Angels. And I think we got
it. Let's cue it up.
Yes, beautiful people. Do you know what's better than putting on for your city? Is your city putting on for you? Yeah, the city putting on for you. Yeah, see the real, recognize the truth. And now you, and now I'm running with the angels. See the ground, feeling like can't nobody stop me now. Never mind. realities. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I give blood, sweat, and tears, my everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause you can't spell power without we. And now I'm running with the angels. I ain't never coming down. Now I'm running with the angels. I'm moving for that higher ground, higher ground. Welcome to LA. You know we don't play. Go hard every day. I'm ready. Welcome to LA. You know we don't play. Go hard every day. Yeah.
So good.
It's pretty cool, right? And what that did was that kicked off our engagement in with the brand in women's sport. And just a couple of points on that, right? So to me, that's about the brand getting engaged with the players and the team and the ritual of what it means to really be participating in the sport. It's about giving the team and the fans something that they can replay. When they had their open season game, they came on to the field with big marching band and they sang that, and it was a whole ritual. But that wasn't kind of the end of it, because what we did was we won the hearts and minds of all the players. And what are brands about? I mean, the be all and end all is getting great organic social, right? We're all trying to get it all the time. I'm going to tell you, when you get engaged in women's sport and you get engaged with the teams and you work with them to give them something that is of real value in their community, they become the biggest advocates for your brands. They create content on your behalf. They talk about the experience on your behalf. And it's an entire media channel that you just don't even realize what you've got. So we often sort of think about, how do we get in the game and with creators and get creators to create on behalf of our brands? Guess what? Women's sports players, they are the best at this. So that's one example. We got a lot more examples along the line, because we didn't just stop there. But anyway.
No,
I'm doing
Sophie,
a lot
we
of
could
talking.
chat all day about this, right? But the power of women in sports, we heard about it from WNBA this morning. I mean, their numbers year over year, we have a 40% increase in audience watching them. We have, we all saw Caitlin Clark play. That was absolutely phenomenal to see that. And, the Women's Soccer League, they're adding 2 new teams by 2026. This is where we should be.
I mean,
investing.
Right. When you
And
talk
why?
about watching women's sport, right? I mean, this stats probably changed and people probably get better stats than I do now. But one of the other things we did with Walker is Gotham City, New York's women's team. We got engaged with them. They rang and they said, because of the work we've done with Angel City, they said, hey, what about us over here? And we went, okay, we're in. So we worked with them. And what was fantastic about the stat they shared with us is of all the sports viewership that we see, and that gets all of the broadcast time that gets dedicated to sport, only 10% gets dedicated to women's sport. Like, that's pretty shocking, right?
Pretty shocking.
Right. So we said, well, let's do something about that. Let's create some awareness around watching women's sport. So we worked with, we got Ted Lasso fans out there. Yeah.
Woo-woo.
So we worked with Hannah Waddington, Rebecca, and we did a campaign with Johnny Walker, which was all about, she did a series of memos to people with insights about the viewership on women's sport. And we launched, I think it was like, I don't know, July 17th. It was for Women's Heritage Month. We did it with the campaign. We launched it with her, Watch Women's Sports. And then you signed up to receive a series of memos from Rebecca, which were all about getting people fired up about the insights around women's sports. We've got huge results against it, which my team can tell you, and I'm not going to take up our airtime going through them. But the fun part that we did also was we created, Angel City had an inaugural game with Gotham. And so with Hannah, we created a rival jersey for that game. And then we auctioned that to get money to put towards future players that were coming up through. So that was just another way of kind of the brand engaging in the ritual of the sport, also promoting how we wanted to change behavior around it, and building awareness around the fact that if we can't get higher viewership, we can't get higher money, and people won't get paid more. So, again, not just about slapping logos around and putting ads out there, but actually engaging in the creating impact around the game for the players and creating fandom and recruiting a lot more Scotch drinkers as we went.
Which is the impact that everyone's really looking for. But that circular economy that we're really thinking about really starts because you're a purpose-led marketer.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about you're leaning into what that meant and really meeting the teams, meeting these women, connecting it. For Diageo, how else are you thinking about that?
Look, I think it's about smart marketing, right? Why did Johnny Walker take on, this equality message for women's sport? Because we're all about progress, and you can't be about progress without getting involved in underserved communities and actually trying to have some impact around your engagement. So, putting your money where your mouth is one part, and then really thinking about how you activate in a way that lifts everyone up, creates fandom, and creates engagement in the community. We're doing a lot of work with the WNBA. We're doing that across Crown and across a number of other areas. We supported like Sue Bird through her retirement, and we've got more to come on that next year. But yeah, I guess our rule of thumb is, what does the brand stand for? Why does it have the reason to play here? When we engage, we got to put the money down. The other thing I'm going to say, put the money down long term. There's lots of people who come in and out. What we really need is a long-term commitment to these platforms and year-on-year impact. And then when we put the money down and we make the commitment, let's activate in a way that becomes a part of the ritual of the sport, that actually activates the players, right? So that they can get more awareness around them and has actual impact on the different statistics around women's sport.
Yeah, no, I think it's fascinating. Tell me a little, what are you most excited about as we're coming into second half of 2024? We've got the Olympics. We've got so much coming up. What are you and Diageo really excited about?
That's a really big question, Kristen. I'm excited about summer. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm really enjoying the weather out there today. What am I excited about? I am excited about our agenda with sport and with women's sport. I'm excited about continuing to create positive impact in underserved communities. It's all about sport and FanDuel here today, but one of the other platforms that we're heavily involved in is a platform called United Masters, which is about independent musicians and actually getting them seen and heard and recognized. So I'm excited about taking that around the world. We actually just launched it in Africa, which is pretty awesome. And if you look at a brand like Bullet, we used Jay Ivey before he won his Grammy to create a spoken word poem for us. We turned that into comms, and then we did a whole creative piece off that with underrepresented artists. So, I think the stuff that gives me energy and gets me up in the morning is when we are playing alongside culture, when we're having a positive impact in the programs that we're engaging with, and we're lifting up people who maybe haven't been seen before in a new way.
Yeah, I think that's fascinating. I'm excited about Olympics. The parity for men and women's sports is going to be happening for the first time ever. That's super exciting. And, getting more audiences in front of sport is going to be super exciting for us. I want to open it up to the audience because Sophie's got such great insights. Questions for Sophie, for us? New platforms that you're looking to lean into?
In relation to sport? I think one of the things we really need to think through is end-to-end marketing, right? And what does that mean? So how can we use all of our channels to actually create awareness, create economy, and create content. So that's top of mind, I'd say. You know, I think when we think about platforms, you know, I think we went through COVID. It feels like a long time ago, but not so long ago. I think what we're really focused on is, you know, feet on the street, like being out there with great experiences in the communities that we're engaging in, and making sure that those experiences are valuable. You know, I think the whole notion of gaming is super interesting around sport. We put our toe into that, and I was talking to Dan about that actually, I think over a year ago maybe, with Crown Royal, right, around the NFL. Crown Royal is another brand whose purpose platform is about generosity. And we did this really amazing thing. It wasn't on FanDuel. We'll do it on FanDuel next, baby, Dan. But so I won't mention who it was on, but we basically turned a betting platform into a platform for generosity. So every time someone took a bet, we actually donated to a charity. So, you know, thinking about how we can engage in the mass audience that is around gaming and sports is a big opportunity that I don't think we've cracked yet. Hi. Hi, Ellie. Ellie's going to tell us what else we have to do, right, Ellie? This is your big chance. Our sports strategy moving forward. Yeah, listen, I think that's a big opportunity for us. Give me a sec. I'm about 6 months in, and I'm doing it globally. And, you know, I go back to marketing 101, right? It's like, what does the brand stand for? How are we going to come into women's sport in a way that's authentic to us? And then how are we going to do something that walks the talk, right? So if you think about Don Julio, most authentic tequila brand in Mexico, we'll probably start there, right? That gives you a hint, but we don't have it all worked out. So I tell you, Ellie, if you've got some ideas for me, hit us up.
Ears up. Thank you, everyone. We're being told next people are up. So enjoy your day. Thank you, Daniel.